Hey everybody, I know a lot of us have been asking a lot of questions about these replacement speaker pods on the GLC, how they sound and all that. So one of the things I'm going to do in this video is take these apart, look at the speaker that's in there, and try to replace them right now with the stock Burmester tweeter that's in there. And we will get some information out there because nobody's really answering any of the questions. Okay guys, so what we have to do here on this first, we need to pull out this housing. It's pretty simple. There's 3 screws. We pull that out, and then we need to remove the the speaker that came with it and replace it. If you're going to be replacing it with the Burmester tweeters that are already in the car, it's pretty easy. I did want to use my Audison. I'd actually bought these for my F-Pace SVR that got rid of, and I was hoping to be able to put them in here, but it's going to be a little bit more work and grinding basically on this housing than what I wanted to do right now. So I'm going to go with this, and what I may do is just end up going with the focal speakers that are specific for the Mercedes. What is interesting, once we pull this apart, you'll see that it's pretty much the same mechanism that is factory from Mercedes. So let's go ahead and pull this out. And this is a Torx bit. It's a T10. This guy right there. Actually, I guess it is more to get the entire assembly out here. There's 2 different assemblies that were taken out. The motor assembly and then the speaker surround. Come on. So then that comes out. That geared assembly comes out. Now we have this last screw right here to take this out, and then we can pull out the assembly. Okay. So then the last thing we have to do is unscrew this. Careful not to scratch your surround, but you're going to spin that back. Comes out just like that. Now, a couple of things. If you wanted to take out this, for instance, what I looked at doing with the Audison was taking this out and being able to set it like this. I was fine with seeing the Audison speaker grill. Underneath here, there's some plastic you would have to cut away, and it's more than what I wanted to deal with right now. But there's these tabs underneath here. There's 4 tabs. I don't know how well you can see that. Those are 4 metal tabs right here, 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 and here. You just bend those up and then put a little bit of pressure on the backside, and then this will come out. There is the black plastic filter paper on the backside of that as well. So that is one thing you can do if you wanted to. So the disassembly is pretty easy. So now what we have to do is, you'll see there's some RTV basically that is keeping the speaker in here. And And what I ended up doing on the other one, as I was trying to cut it loose, realized that it just peeled away pretty easily and was able to push the speaker right on out. So you may have to get in there with the knife and cut it a little bit. But I was able on the last one just to do this, kind of peel it away. You want to get this out. You could throw some heat in there and pick it away a little bit easier with a heat gun if you wanted to. I just didn't want to risk a chance of melting anything, so I didn't. You get enough of that off, and then you can, basically all I'm doing is just kind of prying up to get some space, and then the speaker pushes right out. So there you have it. Now the speaker does look very close to the Mercedes speaker that's in there, and we'll show you that in just a minute. So this is the other one I have. So this is the Mercedes speaker. You can see the Mercedes emblem right there. This is the other mechanism for the other side that I took out, the other speaker. So that's that speaker right there. Now they do look very similar. The part numbers are different on the back. You can see the part number, but everything else matches up. The housing and everything. There's going to be a couple things we're going to have to grind on the Mercedes stock piece. These nubs will have to be shortened up and just use sandpaper. It's really soft plastic. But these nubs here and here, and then we'll show you, there's a, right here they've ground it off on this piece, that little tab, and then over here as well. Just sand that off, and you'll be able to slide that in. The connectors are all the same. Again, let me pull this over here. This is the Mercedes one. You can see that I did swap over the cables. It's pretty easy, but it's the same capacitor on there. It's a 4.7 mic on both for the attenuation. But I mean, it's basically the same housing. And then you can pull this connector off the back of the aftermarket one. And then you'll be able to put this right into the factory Mercedes one. So both of those are out now. So this one, I've already done it. This is the factory Mercedes I had for the other side. So put that there. So I pulled this out of the grill. So this is the factory Mercedes one. You can see the connector that I pulled off of the aftermarket one fits right into here. Again, you can see the Mercedes emblem there, and this is the aftermarket, but they are pretty much identical. But we're going to have to sand off this little nub, that nub, again right here and here. And so for the factory piece from Mercedes, that's really easy. So this is the piece that's in here. Basically you just rotate it, and then it comes right out. Now if these tabs ground down, I don't know how well it would stick back in there without some RTB or something, but it's really easy on this wedge piece that you pull off from the car, just to rotate it and it'll snap right out. And then once you grind that, oops, I swapped over the cable to the factory Mercedes. Just a matter of lining them up. Watch out all the lithium grease, it gets everywhere. You've got your raceway for your cable. Then it's just a matter of kind of lining up and pushing in. Rotate over to get it through the, you'll see as you're doing this that there's little keyways and everything. And then that just goes in right there. And it's really messy. So now I've already tested this out on the other side of the car, and so what I'm going to do now, mix up, I have some flexible RTV adhesive, and I'm going to do the same thing that they basically did. What you're going to want to make sure though is that your speaker is, I guess, parallel, and it's not tilted one way or the other. So that's going to be the biggest thing. But I did check it and everything works good on the other side. So that's pretty much all there is to that right there. Let me mix up my RTV and then we'll get this going. Okay, so I got a little bit of this flexible adhesive. Again, trying to make sure that my speaker on here is flush. It's not tilted one way or the other. And I'm just going to dab some of this on the back here, pretty much the same way that they had done it. I don't have a good applicator. So we're just going to use this. And I don't think you'll need a ton. And again, like I said, I might be going with the focals here shortly, so I'll want to fit those in here, and because they fit in the factory housing so nicely, they're made for that, they should fit in here with just a little bit of modification, probably just the same type of sanding. So that's all I'm doing. So hopefully I'll be able to get this out. May have to apply some heat back when I decide that I'm going to do that, but we'll see. Okay. Oops. Okay. Let's sit for just a minute. Clean this off. Okay. It's actually, it's pretty easy. Working on all this stuff, pretty straightforward. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back in carefully. I know it's not set up yet, but it should set up fairly quickly. Tight on there. I want to hold this in place, so we're going to put one in. All these T10s are the same size, so you don't have to worry about putting them in the wrong spot. Again, this is with the factory Burmester tweeter in here. And like I said, I did listen to this aftermarket one compared to the stock one, and yeah, just I've heard much worse. Don't get me wrong, from speakers, but it was not good. And the Burmesters are really, they're good speakers. I've heard a lot worse factory premium speakers, that's for sure. But like most of us enthusiasts, we want to change things anyways. So maybe it's a placebo effect that something else sounds better just because it's not factory. But I don't know. I could definitely tell a difference between the Burmester and this aftermarket one. The aftermarket one did not sound as good. So now all that's back together. Got that back in there. That's still going to set up for a bit. So yeah, let's go out to the car and get this installed. Okay, so we are trying to get this installed here, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. At least it is for me. This top part doesn't like to go in. It's not quite as perfect as the stock Mercedes piece. So we'll come back to this in a minute once I get done struggling and actually get it in. Okay, so I do have it in there now. It doesn't fit perfect. Up here is a little bit of a gap, but it is in there. All right, so here's the door panel. And what I think I'm going to do, here's the door panel, and what I'm going to do is to mount the module, I think, right underneath here. Looks like it should go just fine. Of course, you never can tell, but it looks like there's plenty of space right here. So we're going to find out. So I'm going to clean this off real quick. Some alcohol. I've got some 3M double-sided pad. So we can get that off. Clean off this. Okay. Just a little. Awful tight, but I don't know where else to put it, so we're going to try it there. But we're only going to stick it halfway on for right now and do a test fit, just to make sure that we don't have any interference issues. So we'll stick that there for now, and let's go check it out. All right, guys, so it looks like that is going to fit just fine. So try to all right, guys, so it looks like that's going to fit just fine. So we are going to go ahead and install this. Get the rest of my adhesive on there. Okay. Right there. We need to hook up. This is the connection from the aftermarket speaker and the factory harness. Just kind of tuck this back in here. And black goes to black. Blue goes to, this one goes to blue number 6. Blue number 5. Make sure those are in there. We'll do a quick check. Okay.
X-band, K-band, Ka-band, laser, GPS connected.
Okay. I did change lights. So put, I don't know if you can see this for the door handle, put that back on. Put that back in there. Okay. Put door lock. Okay. Hey guys, just some closing thoughts on this whole process. I did listen originally to the speaker that's in here with the stock speaker, and there was a big difference in sound quality. And I did put in, I'm sorry, I tested that with that black piece of paper in there, and I do wonder how much that did affect it, because when I did put in the Burmester tweeter in there, it definitely sounded completely different than the other side that was still in the stock Mercedes housing. That's when I took out that black paper. But I did listen to both the tweeters outside of both housings. Just I put them up to my ears and listened one at a time. And there definitely is a sound quality difference between the ones that are in here and the Burmester. You know, there's a big step up. The Burmester is not a bad system in my opinion. There's definitely better out there. Agree. I do want to upgrade, especially the subs, but it's quite okay. I'm enjoying listening to it. I think it has a good balanced sound for the most part. It's not real sibilant on the high end. It doesn't hurt your ears. You know, it's pretty well balanced. I am running EQ on my phone, so that helps a little bit. I can get a little more EQing on there, but even without it, it's a good sounding system. It's not difficult to replace the speakers at all. You know, and the housings themselves are really high quality. The motor seems to be high quality. So I really don't have a problem with them at all, other than the speakers in them are not great. So I hope that the video helps you guys figure out or see that it's really not difficult to change them out. And I would strongly recommend it for sure. I know the Focal Mercedes speakers that are supposed to be a direct replacement will have the same plastic housing for the tweeters that these had and the stock Mercedes ones have. So it will be easy to get those to fit in here if you want to go that route. I still would like to go the JL Audio, but that is going to require me to do a lot of modifications that I don't know if I really want to do. Maybe I'll just go with the Focal Audio. I put Focal in one of my motorcycles, and they sound amazing. But all in all, you know, this is really good, especially for the upgrade. It's not that hard to upgrade the speakers. So I highly recommend it. I think they look great. You know, as an enthusiast, we always want our vehicles to look cool. You know, I've gotten comments from several people. Eventually I will do the lighted mid-range upgrade as well. But I am very happy with this, and I hope the video helped show you guys it's really not that difficult to change these out, and to give a little bit more information about them too, because there wasn't really much out there on the internet for all the questions that were being asked. So hope that helps, and thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.